everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have another scrapbook layout using the current Dear Lizzie documentary collection. The heart paper with the yellow hearts is called Hello Love, and the sheet I'm working with that has the polka dots is called Bear Hug. And I am scrapping two pictures of my recent, or a few pictures of my recent trip to New York. This is my best friend since middle school, who I went to visit, who is now a new mom, and she had twins as her first set of children. So I had to capture this moment and document my life because we have been through everything together, and now she's a mom before me with twins, and they're scrumptious. So I am tight matting them on just regular black cardstock, and the middle strip with the black and white polka dots. I also, as you can see, used the branding strip, which kind of has the same like zigzag, just in like a teal color. So I thought that was kind of clever to add a little bit more color to the page. And I do like the way it looks there, so I'm just trimming off the excess and adhering it right above that like kind of chevron line anyway. And it literally matches like the pattern perfectly. So that's really good. And with this whole collection from Dear Lizzie, if you've been watching my channel, I think I have like 2 more layouts, but I've been using it to scrap my whole New York trip. So it's been fun to kind of get a bunch of looks, as well as a few sporty pages if you have seen some of the previous layouts. They're all from this collection. I may have to buy it again. I am not going to lie. I love it that much. So I am taking the branding strips and kind of like the top of the branding strips from the 6x6 paper pad, and I am just randomly and haphazardly adding a few layers to the top and bottom of my, in essence, horizontal layout. And they all show like all the patterns that are in the collection, obviously, and they work well as layering pieces because it was fine the way it was, but I wanted to kind of add in this rough, uneven, natural, worn look to the edges rather than having it so crisp. And that's what adding all these layers of the branding strips has achieved for this layout. And there's my head. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Work with me until I get better at not putting my head in the frame. So like I said, these are all like the scraps from the 6x6 and the branding strips, and it added a nice little kind of touch to that kind of horizontal, in essence, layer I have going on. And I was going to take gesso and do, dull out the, I guess, the brightness of these layers I added. But I also know that paint acts like a resist, so if I wanted to add like paint splatters and some watercolors and such, not paint splatters, watercolor splatters, it would be good as a resist against white paint rather than gesso, because gesso would just absorb it all. And all I'm doing is just putting some white paint on some of the brighter reds and the darker, blacks, so it's not as bright, since I'm kind of keeping this layer, at least the game plan was, very pastel-like. Granted that the polka dot is a black, but when you see it up close, the polka dot is almost like distressed. So it's not like a full complete circle, it is kind of worn looking. And so that's the look that also goes with this right now, as you can see. So here I am going in, and I thought what better way to bring in more of that yellow from that gorgeous pattern paper than to add yellow watercolors. So like I said, I'm absorbing, it's staying off of some of the paint, but not as good as I thought it would. But it does. I mean, I actually like the look. Like I said, a gesso would have been absorbing the color and it would have made it brighter, where I used paint instead, which acts sort of like a resist. Am I saying that right? I think you understand. And it's just my trusty old watercolor set. We all have this set of watercolors, and it's just really great. So what I also thought of doing, just to add a little bit more interest, was add like gray watercolors to some of the strips behind it to create more of like dimension with it. So yeah, it's good. You know me, I'm always bold and bright and everything else, so here I am, just trying to challenge myself to do something else, something different. So now I'm going in with the die cuts that came with the collection. And that button, flare button, is from my stash. I do believe it's from a former clip kit. I had these wood veneers from Studio Calico in my collection as well. They are colored with yellow gelatos that you see kind of on the top left of my screen. And again, I just wanted to play up the yellow color from the background paper. And I did use my Cuddle Bug and the Little Bee monogram die cut to cut out the word Twinsies. And I also wanted to use one of the phrase stickers, so I do add the word love to the top. But I also wanted to use like hashtag Twinsies. And it's hard to, I looked up how to spell, I hope I spelled it right. So no judgment if it's wrong, it's my layout. Because, because I love the idea that my friend has had twins. And what's ironic too is that her sister also has a set of twins. So I guess it runs in the girls in the family. They're sort of destined to have twins. And they are just adorable. And so the letters are kind of hard to see, but I do outline them in a Sharpie pen. And then this is a Dear Lizzie ruler stamp. It's not from this collection, I don't think, but it could be. And all I stamped on there was like, remember this a couple times, and I love this moment. And I do go back into with the roller date stamp as well. And let's see what else is going on. Okay, I continue on by adding the hashtag and the word love from the phrase stickers from this collection. And I do end up moving the love to the top because, the title is like Love Twinsies, but I wanted to use the hashtag. So I just moved the love to be a little bit on the top so it wasn't so bottom heavy. I do outline the Twinsies, and I do add some journaling to the bottom right hand corner too. And that completes my layout. I always appreciate your support, and thank you for watching my process videos. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And here are my detailed photos. Thank you. Bye.